Formula One is arguably the pinnacle of motor racing, with the drivers often considered to be the best in the world. But it takes more than just driver talent to win a race, let alone a championship. The crew members, the car, and teammate all play a large part in success, and for two-time champion Fernando Alonso and the Renault team, 2008 would not look to be a success as the season began to wind down. With 4 races to go, the team's best result was 4th, which, despite Alonso having achieved it 4 times, he had a clause in his contract that stipulated he could walk away from the team if he didn't record a win during the season, and it was up to the team to make sure that didn't happen. Teams unpacked in Singapore, a brand new track to the calendar, unsure how the weekend would unfold. The first practice session was topped by the young superstar Lewis Hamilton, who was neck and neck with Felipe Massa in the battle for the championship. The latter of the practice sessions on Friday proved much better for Fernando, as he went top of the table with his final lap, usurping Lewis. Multiple cars faced reliability problems on Friday due to the tough climate in Singapore. Saturday started out on a similarly high note for the Enstone team, with Fernando once again finishing first in third practice. FP3 proved difficult for the drivers, especially the curbs in Turn 10, which look unlike any other curb I've seen. Qualifying, which is broken up into 3 segments, the first 2 of which eliminate 5 drivers each, with the final segment setting the grid for Sunday, started out with Alonso's teammate Nelson Piquet Jr. being knocked out in Q1. Alonso looked poised to move into Q3 after a stellar Q1 run, but his car experienced fuel flow issues early in Q2 before he could set a lap, and he was eliminated from qualifying in 15th place, where he would start the race the following night. On the lap to the grid, prior to the race, Nelson Piquet Jr. would spin and continue on at turn 17, one of the more difficult corners on the circuit. The race would begin rather uneventfully for Alonso, who started the race on a lower fuel level and the softer tire compound in order to try to make up positions at the start. And although he made solid progress, gaining 3 spots and putting himself up in the 12th by the end of the first lap, he would be stuck in a train behind Jarno Trulli, Nico Rosberg, and Kazuki Nakajima. Being stuck in such a train, he was losing 5 seconds a lap to Massa in the lead. Alonso would get past Trulli before diving into the pits on the 12th lap, which was just 4 laps before Massa was expected. The low fuel and soft tire combo required such an early stop in comparison and wasn't considered that outlandish of a strategy. On lap 14, Nelson Piquet Jr. once again spun at turn 17, this time into the inside barrier, causing the safety car to be deployed. Due to the 2008 regulations, the pit lane would close during the time between the deployment of the safety car and when the fuel would be collected. With many drivers pitting under the safety car, Alonso shot up the running order into 5th, with Rosberg and Robert Kubica incurring 10-second stop-go penalties for pitting while the lane was closed due to a need for fuel. Alonso would gain 2 more spots in the 3rd, leaving just Jarno Trulli and Giancarlo Fisichella both yet to pit. When the Italians made their pit stops, Alonso would take the lead of the race, where he would remain until the checkered flag flew, winning his first race of the year, a performance he would follow up the next time out in Japan with yet another victory. Almost halfway through the following season, Renault would look to drop the struggling Brazilian. Soon thereafter, Piquet would claim that team boss Flavio Briatore and lead engineer Pat Simmons had asked him to crash to help Fernando's race. The FIA investigation would find that before the race, a meeting was held in Briatore's office between the 3, where Piquet was asked to crash at turn 17, as it would be difficult to recover the car and require a safety car. Briatore would receive a lifetime ban, while Simmons would only receive a 5-year ban, because unlike Briatore, he was only a team employee and not Piquet's manager as well. Both bans would be overturned by the French court system, but Flavio has not worked for a team since, despite rumors of a Renault Alpine return in 2022, while Pat Simmons would work with both Marussia and Williams before being hired by Formula One itself as chief technical officer. Alonso was ruled not to have any knowledge of the crash during the investigation. However, other drivers, including future teammate Felipe Massa, would insist that Alonso must have been aware and would call for the results of the race to be cancelled. Massa was understandably upset, as it can be argued that the scandal cost him a world championship after he lost to Lewis Hamilton on the final lap of the season in Brazil.